Anybody looking forward to this game against Liverpool at the weekend? I'm not sure I am. What a big game we've got. Liverpool absolutely flying high, riding the wave of Jurgen Klopp's long goodbye. Manchester United hardly been in form all season. We've been getting results, but against City, we weren't humiliated. We were humbled. We tried. We just weren't good enough. Can we beat Liverpool? We've got two huge games coming up against Liverpool in the FA Cup and the League. And for Erik ten Hag, I think they're very important. I'm going to run through my starting 11, team news, predictions. You can let me know what you think in the comments, what your team would be and what you think the score will be. Drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. But let's get into this one because you can't deny the significance of this game, all right? You just can't. Now, early team news is that Bayindir is missing the game. There's no confirmation from Erik ten Hag. His press conference is coming out. But I'm going to run through my starting 11 on the premise that maybe Højlund is fit and maybe Højlund isn't fit. I'm going to run through different 11s. But, man, Liverpool right now, they are just, I wouldn't say they're unstoppable, but they feel pretty intimidating, I think is a way to describe them. Whether it's Chelsea in the League Cup final, where they had no real right to win. Chelsea were crap and they won anyway. Whether it's winning, 7 out of 8 games and drawing against City, and they probably deserved to win against City. Certainly deserved a penalty towards the end. Erik ten Hag needs to find a performance out of this team that's like what happened last year. When we played Liverpool at Old Trafford in the league after losing against Brighton and Brentford, nobody really gave us a chance. We won, and we won 4 in a spin. We played as a team there. Now, for me, the performance is everything on Sunday, right? That was the team that played against Everton. We won 2-0. Yeah, somehow Man United managed to make a 2-0 win cumbersome, difficult, hard to watch, certainly not entertaining. We didn't control anything. We haven't controlled anything all season. Injuries, sure, yeah, I know. Injuries are a big part of it, but you play like that against Liverpool, how we did against Everton, we're going to get spanked. Now, a man who has been pretty consistent, in my opinion, since African Cup of Nations coming back is Onana. I think he's one of our most informed players, and he's certainly looking far more confident, more commanding of his box, more commanding with crosses, his presence, his starting positions, and his saves. Just kind of his overall game, really, is improving. Distribution-wise, the quick distribution against City was fantastic, but still passing out from the back, we're awful. And we basically will be all season. I don't think that's going to change, really. Now, I would personally, I think Maguire's going to be fit. Okay, he's going to be joining up with England for international duty, and I think he'll be fit to start this game. But I would keep Varane and Evans. I think Varane, his best performance this season actually came at Anfield. I think Johnny Evans was playing there too. Varane and Evans have shown they are very good box defenders. At United this season, we've done that quite a lot. By box defending, I mean we drop deep and we just end up sitting and defending our own box. In these sorts of environments and situations in there, that's where Varane and Evans positionally, they've been spot on. They've been very good. Now, obviously, United can't be going into this game and thinking we're going to do what we did against City. Sit and try and defend their own box. We'll lose. In the same way it felt inevitable against City, I'd say it would be inevitable against Liverpool if we did the same thing. But a big thing that we could have in this game revolves around fullbacks. Now, Diogo Dalot has, again, if I'm going to say 2 of our most consistent players this season, certainly in the second half of the season for sure, I'm going to go Onana and Dalot. This, I think, needs to happen, right? Lindelof at left back has given me heart palpitations. It made me feel hungover and I'm not even drinking. It's just been awful to watch. Dalot, I think, needs to go left back to go up against Mohamed Salah. And of course, fingers crossed, this man is fit to return. I know it's a novelty, right? We might actually have 2 actual genuine fullbacks, crazy as it may sound. That would be my back 5. That's the change I would make. Put Dalot in at left back, just not Lindelof. And I don't think playing Amrabat there is the right decision either. It's kind of weird about Amrabat, man. Hardly played in the position where I think he's actually quite good. And inside this midfield role right now, right? My biggest question marks, probably about this team, 2 positions, left back and Casemiro. I just don't get it, right? Form is temporary, class is permanent. We all love saying it, and it's a cliche, which is true. This form it's the 15th of March, people. I know that the system did not allow Casemiro to flourish earlier this season when he got overexposed, when Bruno and Mount just ended up running everywhere. And he's like, well, I've got to cover like 50 yards on my own. I can't run that fast. But he's just, everything just seems difficult with Casemiro. Positionally, short passes, long passes, medium passes. Just everything seems hard. And what we need him to do against Liverpool is really show himself and always make sure that he's given himself, making himself an outlet for Evans or Varane to beat the first line of the press. Because you know Liverpool are going to do that. I imagine we might even just go long and try and negate and get around it that way. I kind of want to see Mainu dropping a little bit deeper as well. I've said that positionally, I see Mainu as the number 6 to number 8 hybrid. That's what I see from Kobbie Mainu, right? I don't want to see him being just the player receiving the ball from the defence and nothing else, because I think he's too good for that. So I actually kind of maybe ends up being more like that. Ends up so kind of Casemiro's not as isolated, and we play more like a 4-2-3-1. That's a possibility, right? That is a possibility, because there's only one man I definitely want inside the opposition's half, and that's Bruno Fernandes. Now against Everton, so this is a curious thing, right? And this is probably to do with Rasmus Højlund not being fit and available. Bruno Fernandes ended up playing as basically the false 9, with McTominay ended up playing slightly deeper. I don't think I want to see that against Liverpool, right? And of course, all of this depends on whether or not this man is fit. The fitness of Rasmus Højlund kind of changes the landscape of this game, kind of changes the shape of Manchester United out of possession, for sure. Maybe not in possession as much, but certainly out of possession. And if he's fit, of course he starts. And if he's fit, I think Scott McTominay maybe drops to the bench. Not maybe drops to the bench. Scott McTominay should drop to the bench. Whether or not Erik ten Hag would prefer to play Casemiro and McTominay to have more physicality, I hope that's not the case. Can't rule it out. I cannot rule it out, if I'm being completely honest. But Højlund has to start. Bruno has to start just behind him. And I want Bruno to be finding those balls in behind, because Liverpool will leave spaces, man. They absolutely will. We should be seeing Marcus Rashford get opportunities. Rashford, man, uses that goal against City was incredible. One of the goals of the season. One of the best goals he scored in a United shirt. Rest of the game, it was probably the hardest chance. No, it wasn't the hardest chance. It was like a 1 in 30, wasn't it? 3% chance of that going, and it went in. He had 2 other chances that were it felt far easier on paper, and he didn't focus. Didn't focus properly, and it didn't work. Rashford loves a goal against Liverpool. And Rashford and Garnacho easily are our best wingers right now in this squad, on the left wing and the right wing. That is the best front three we can play. On paper, that is the best midfield that we've got. And on paper, that's probably the best defence we can put out, given our injuries. That would be my starting 11. And now that I've put it on paper there, I probably would anticipate on Mainu playing alongside Casemiro more in a 4-2-3-1 shape, rather than a more traditional kind of 4-3-3, which we've been seeing with one isolated number 6. Now, if Højlund isn't fit, you're probably going to be seeing what you saw against Everton, right? You'll see Bruno end up playing more as a false 9, and you'll see McTominay coming in as the number 10. I didn't really like McTominay in the number 10. It ended up being with him with the ball in this position too often, around about there, with the ball at his feet, trying to find Garnacho or trying to find Rashford. He found them a couple of times, but overall, no, not really. So if Højlund is fit, Højlund starts. And this would be our best team. Bruno back in his best position in the number 10 role. Højlund playing through the middle. Man, what's your prediction for this game? I haven't really thought about it that much. I really, really hope it's a repeat of that 2-1 last season. I think this game has the ability to give United a genuine impetus for the rest of this season. A genuine bit of energy and motivation. I said it in my last show this morning, right? I think there's about a 10% chance of this happening. But right now, there is a chance that the 5th place in the Premier League gets a Champions League spot. What is it? Arsenal win against Bayern? Arsenal might not buy it out. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. City are playing Real Madrid. Hopefully Real Madrid absolutely spank them up. Then, of course, you got West Ham, and that could happen. And we could win the FA Cup. I'd say it's about a 10% chance. Very unlikely. But there's a chance. this team has to deliver. The energy has to be up there from the first minute, or Liverpool will walk all over us. What's your prediction? I don't know what yours is, but I'm nervous.